If you love Korean food but don't know which stew to try first, these four are the most loved in Korean homes. Doenjang stew, Sundubu stew, Bulgogi stew, and Kimchi stew. They are really hearty and comforting. Let's make them together. Pour 3 cups of water into a pot. Add some radish. Add half an onion. Add about 10 dried anchovies. Add 2 pieces of medium-sized kelp. Boil for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, take out the kelp first. And boil for another 10 minutes over medium-high heat. Cut the potatoes in half, then cut in half again and cut into bite-sized pieces. Cut half the zucchini into bite-sized pieces. Also cut the onion into appropriate sizes. I will cut the tofu into larger chunks. If you have mushrooms, add some. Also finely minced 3 cloves of garlic. Cut 2 green onions into appropriate sizes. You can also add 1 green chili pepper or red pepper. The vegetables for the soybean paste stew are ready. And if you have a pork at home, slice a little. I like to use a pork with a bit of fat on it. This is Korean tukbaegi, Korean earthenware pot. If you don't have a tukbaegi, you can use a regular pot. Pour in 2 cups of broth that was previously boiled. Add about 3 tablespoons of soybean paste. Put the potatoes in first and add the onion. Boil it for 3 minutes over high heat. When the potatoes start to boil, add the zucchini and mushrooms. And add the pork too. If you like a bit more spiciness, add half tablespoon of red pepper powder to taste. Boil for an additional 5 minutes. Remove the foam that rises when boiling. Add half a tablespoon of minced garlic as well. Add the tofu cut into large pieces. Lastly, add green onions and red pepper. Well-boiled soybean paste stew is really delicious if you put it on top of freshly made rice and mix it. Flavor and comforting doenjang jjigae is done. Cut the zucchini in half and slice them so they are not too thick. If you have mushrooms, cut them into similar shapes. Cut the onion into similar sizes. Cut the scallions into small pieces. Mince 3 cloves of garlic finely. Cut the soft tofu in the middle with a knife and put it in a bowl. Soft tofu will be cut into large pieces. This is squid. I will use only the body part of the squid. Lay the knife at an angle and put a slight cut. Cut the other side in the same way. Then the shape of the squid becomes pretty. Cut into appropriate sizes. This is the seafood we will be using today. Add 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. Add about half a tablespoon of minced garlic. Add the green onions. Stir fry well. Add 2 tablespoons of red pepper flakes. Stir fry the red pepper flakes on low heat so that it does not burn. Add 1 tablespoon of salted shrimp to enhance the flavor of the soup. If you have tuna fish sauce, add 1 tablespoon. If you don't have a tuna fish sauce, you can add a fish sauce. Add 1 tablespoon of cooking wine. Stir fry well. The soft tofu base is done. Pour in 2 cups of water. Cover and simmer for 3 minutes over high heat. 3 minutes later, when the broth boils, add the sliced onion, zucchini, and mushrooms. Also add the clams, shrimp, and squid. Cover and simmer for 3 minutes over high heat. 3 minutes later, skim off the foam, then the broth will be more clear. When the vegetables and seafood are cooked to some extent, scoop out the soft tofu with a spoon and put it in. Do not boil the soft tofu for too long, but boil it slightly. Add 1 egg. At this stage, adjust the taste. If it's a bit bland, sprinkle a bit of salt and pepper. And if you have scallions and red pepper, put some as garnish. This is optional. Very comforting and hearty seafood soft tofu stew is done. First, prepare a large bowl and add 2 cups of water, 6 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 6 tablespoons of cooking wine. Typically, grated pear is used when making bulgogi, but today we are gonna simplify by using pear juice. Add half cup of pear juice. Add 2 tablespoons of sugar, half tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, 2 pinches of black pepper. If you have a ginger powder, adding a small amount will enhance the flavor. Now let's prepare the vegetables and other ingredients. Cut the cabbage into bite-sized pieces. Don't cut the cabbage too small as it shrinks when cooked. Slice the green onions diagonally. Remove the stems from the mushrooms, slicing them into suitable sizes. Slice a bit of onion. Slice a bit of carrot as well. If you have enoki mushrooms, trim the ends, rinse them briefly, and drain the water. This is optional. Soak the glass noodles in warm water for about 30 minutes. Prepare thinly sliced beef for bulgogi. I'm using thinly sliced sirloin for shabu shabu, which also works great for bulgogi stew. First, gently pat the beef with a kitchen towel to remove excess moisture. Instead of cutting the beef with a knife, gently tear it by hand. This keeps the beef tender and helps the marinade soak in better. Place the prepared cabbage, onion, mushrooms, and soak the glass noodles into the pot in layers. Then add the enoki mushrooms, beef, carrot, and green onions on top. If you have some dumplings, adding them will enhance the flavor even more. Finally, pour the prepared broth over the ingredients, making sure the broth covers everything evenly. Place the pot on high heat and bring it to a boil. Once it starts boiling, taste the broth and adjust the seasoning with salt if needed. The savory and delicious bulgogi stew is done. Cut the kimchi using scissors. It's much easier and you don't even need a cutting board. Slice the pork into slightly thick, bite-sized pieces. Cut the tofu into slightly thick so it doesn't break easily. Slice the onion, not too thin. Heat 1 tablespoon of oil in a tteokbagi or pot and stir fry the pork. When the pork is halfway cooked, add 1 tablespoon of cooking wine. When the pork starts to release a little oil, it's time to add the kimchi. Add the sliced kimchi, half tablespoon of gochugaru, half a tablespoon of gochujang, and 1 teaspoon of sugar, and stir fry for just 2 minutes. Now pour in 2.5 cups of water and half cup of kimchi juice. Cover with a lid and let it simmer on medium heat for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, add the onion, tofu, and half tablespoon of minced garlic. Taste the broth, and if it needs more seasoning, add half tablespoon of tuna fish sauce or a little salt. Let it cook for 5 more minutes. Hearty and delicious kimchi jjigae is done. In Korea, we always eat kimchi jjigae with warm steamed rice. Scoop some broth, kimchi, pork, and tofu all together in one bite. This is what we call true Korean comfort food. I hope you try these first stews at home. They are simple to make and always comforting. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.